everyone, I'm Rob, solo scoundrel here today, and we are here to play a game that has, well, I mean, it's out, but it's in pre-release. It's not like fully released yet. So you can definitely tell that it is a work in progress and that this is still being worked on. But it's still, anyway, game's called Derail Valley. It's dope as fuck. Today, we're driving that thing, and I am excited. My inner child is just alive right now. I'm so pleased. So we're gonna go. Let me pull up our map here. This is a VR game, but I do not have a VR headset, so we are gonna be playing it with a mouse and keyboard. So it may look a little funky compared to how it normally be. Let's see. We are up here in that top left-hand corner. This map is huge, by the way. Each of those, like, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it on your screen, but there are the big grid squares, and then there are the small grid squares within them. Each of the small ones is a kilometer. So it's a trek. This is pretty, like, real-world distances between stuff and things. So, ooh, excuse me. I'm excited. As far as I've seen, there has not been too many people showing this game off yet, and I think it is totally worth showing off. So, yeah. Let's go ahead, and before we go find a job, let's get this thing fired up. SH282. Fun little engineering fact before we actually start the thing up. 282 is this thing's name because of the wheel arrangement. There's two wheels on the front bit, which is called a bogie, or not a bogie. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And these are like the guiding wheels to help it stay on the track while it's going fast. Then you've got the 8, which are the 8 driving wheels, which are the part of the locomotive that actually give power and everything through that little tiny contact point right there. And then another 2 wheels just to stabilize the whole thing and keep the cab up, because otherwise it would be unstable and unwieldy. So yeah, that's how locomotives get their naming. Like a 440 locomotive, which is like the ones you imagine when you think of shit like the stuff during like the Civil War and like the 1850s and 60s, those had the 4 wheels at the front, the 4 big driving wheels, and then nothing else. Ooh, a little bit of clipping there. Expect that to happen a lot. So yeah, this game doesn't have a UI per se. We're gonna be reading all the information we need off of these dials. So we've got water, which I'm going to go ahead and throw this open real quick. Top off our water tank now. And throw it back. Boom. There are some parts of this game that have not been implemented yet that will be implemented in the future. And part of that is like resource management and spending money on actually paying for coal and stuff like that. But it's still pretty early on. So next thing's up, we got our fire door. Get our shovel out. And normally if you were in VR, you'd actually be like doing the shovel motion, which I imagine is immensely satisfying. I'm going to sit here and click the coal in because I don't have that kind of time or room around my setup to be shoveling coal. I'll be just break stuff. Okay. Now I need my lighter. Oop. Throw this bitch back over here. And light it. Alright. And that's gonna get that going. So now that needle will start to rise. And while that's doing that, let's go find a job. Let's go get some work to do while we're sitting here waiting on the locomotive to warm up. Be ready for some graphical errors. This game, like I said, is still an early release, and the core gameplay is here. Like all the functionality you need to just understand the premise of the game is definitely here, and I'm excited for the things they are planning on releasing. So let's see. There's our map. We are up here. What do we want to do today? I want to haul. We've got 2 haul jobs and then a shunting job. I don't feel like pushing stuff around, so we're not going to do that. We're going to bring a shit ton of iron ore. 770 tons of iron ore to the steel mill. So we will be going down along this route, and then we're going to go down to the city and turn, past the oil well on the farm, and then steel mill. Dope. So we're going to stick it in chow. Alright. Freight haul job number FH06. We need to go pick up. That's what we're doing. It's time limit, blah, 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 blah. We need to go pick up all the stuff on track 03, which starts with car. All the cars are numbered. And actually, I think it's this one. Should be CDK 015. Haha, this is the train. So I need to pull our locomotive around to this track. And the way we will do that is with this thing. This is a little handy dandy tool. Lets you switch switches, even when you're on the move. So this is pointing the right direction. This is not pointing the right direction. This I'll have to reset after we pull the locomotive around, which is going nicely. Hell yeah. Yeah, and you see me poofing around. It's because they don't intend for you to play this game, you know. They extend you to be BRing, and you obviously can't run all those distances, so. Yes. So, handbrake off. Check our fire. Got steam. Oh, we need more water. Be ready for lots of little micromanaging. Because these things, like, I know, here is an interesting point of discussion while I get us backed up. Or I guess I should say pulled forward. Oh, I just did it from the wrong side. We're facing, I need to do all the switches on this side. I'm silly goose. Anyway, like, the steam period of, like, American Railroad history is super romanticized. And for good reason, because, like, these are kind of magnificent things that were built given the time and technology. And, like, in a lot of ways, steam power is still one of the most efficient forms of power production we've ever come up with. The problem just is that, it's really fucking dirty. And water, it requires a lot of water and all kinds of other things that make it kind of prohibitive to do. Where diesel is just like, hey, turn that shit on and go. And, like, I personally enjoy me a good steamer the most, both, in railroading and on my chest. Just a little joke there, but really I do. Anyway, so we're gonna, is this 03? Yeah, okay, so this is the track I need to be backing up to. Okay, we gotta put it the right way. Super convenient. Be real convenient if I could do something like this in real life. Alright, check our fire. Alright, it'll be good until... Alright, so handbrake's off, water's good for the moment. This wheel controls our throttle, and in this direction we are pointed forward. I don't know, I can explain it later. Anyway, this is our actual throttle, and we gotta be real gentle with it. You hear that? That's the wheel spinning. That is me spinning wheels that are like 50 inches across. So the next time you see a little fanboy in their Civic like burning out from a red light, just laugh at them when you imagine people doing wheel spin and shit like this back in like the fucking 1920s. Alright, we're building a little too much speed. Give it a little bit of brake. Cut the throttle off. We're just gonna coast through here. This game is called Derail Valley, and that is not just a buzzword. This game, you will totally derail if you go through shit too fast. And yeah, that is definitely a thing. And I have no intention of going off the rails today. At least I hope not. We will see. Alright, so we can stop, or begin the process of stopping. These things do not stop quickly. Boop. And then we're all set up the way we need to go. Throw this lever all the way back around. Throw it back around. So throw it fucking back around. whore. This normally is not... This is normally better than this. I'm a little, okay. Well, backwards. Backwards. Yeah. Backwards. And we're backwards. Good shit. And handbrake off. And itty bitty bit of gas. Itty bitty bit of gas. Well, coal. Alright, speaking of which, fire needs some love. How much room do I have before I'm about to just ram this shit? Yeah, I got a bit. There we go. Got some coal on the shovel. There is plans to make this game co-op, so eventually you will be able to have you and a buddy both working a locomotive and like one person handling the coal and the water and everything and the other person handling the driving and like switches and stuff. And like, that's pretty fucking sick. Excuse my language about it. I know there's a chance of a younger audience possibly watching this one. So a little bit of baby throttle and then we're gonna cut it. Whoop. That happens from time to time, but that's actually perfectly fine in this. Oh. Here we go. See, just gotta, sometimes you magically transport up to the top of your locomotive and then fall into the coal box. Alright, almost there. We've got throttle cut all the way. Okay, maybe not this slow. Got places to go, people to see. Hundreds of tons of ore. Yeah. Boom. Alright. And back inside. And we are hooked up. Sweet. This little button right here now means we have all that stuff. Wrap this bitch back around. Oh, we're doing this again, huh? I have never had a problem with this before. This is actually kind of surprising to me. Anyway, give it a little bit of a... top off our water. Once we get rolling, it's more about... there's two, in my experience with this game, I've only done... This is like my 7th or 8th load at this point. There's two distinct phases to this game. There are like the yard operations where you're actually like moving cars around and like getting your shit together and connecting and going. And then once you're actually moving, the game is about speed management and like, because, let me pull up the map. Yeah, so like we're going to be going through some corners and stuff that we have to control our speed through or we will go off the rails. And if you're going really fast, that's a lot of ass. That's a thick with like 5 C's ass. Look at that ass. It's fucking, that's a lot of booty to bring to a sudden stop. So we've got to play it real cool when we get in the mountainy bits, and we've also got to be careful about not looking away and realizing we've gone from flatland to downhill, and all of a sudden we are careening along. It is a bad time. I had my first run that I could not finish on here the other day because I was booking it along, doing like 50 or so through a long straight, and then a sharp corner on a very shallow slope that I didn't notice until I was doing close to 60 came up, and I just locked up the brakes. But the problem is it went uphill after that, and then I got stuck because the back of it was just stuck on the downslope, and the front of the engine was stuck on the upslope. So it's just like, cool, cannot move. Hips too thick. Yeah, my inner child delights at this game. I have, it's only $20 right now. And like, I really can't recommend it enough if this is something like you're into. Because like, yeah, it's still a work in progress, and like if you're the kind of person that I can't possibly spend money on something, oh, I know it's gonna be exactly what I want, which I get. Up, see, back off throttle a little bit. We're doing like 30. If you hear the wheels start screeching, it means I'm close to making a mistake, and I'm probably gonna lose. Well, there's nothing really to lose at this point. You just kind of pre-respawn and go again. And look, and here we have a lovely graphic of some kind. Oh, need to slow down a little bit. Ooh, need to slow down a lot. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is actually not terribly far where I got stuck either. Okay. 30 seems like a reasonable speed through here. Once I, ooh, which way? There's a junction coming up. I better not fucking get thrown down the wrong line. Oh, that's not what I need. It's good to know that if you ever hear a ballad start, you're ready. Put a little bit of brake on. Ooh, maybe not. Just a touch more throttle. Alright. I need this to be pointing left. And it is. Ballin'. Alright, give me the beans. Give me the beans. Give me that Bush family secret. This is gonna be so pretty when this is done. Like, it's already the notion of just like rolling through the countryside on scenic lines. Like, you can tell whoever made this game, or is making this game, I should say, that they have an idea of like, is that where I'm going actually? No, that's where I just came from. Come on. Oh, we're not doing this shit again. Where's the sand? Is this the sand? Yeah. Oh, I'm out of water. Shit. There's a lovely tree. I am losing steam super hard. Do I have fire? I should have. Oh shit! I have not shoveled cold in a minute. Please don't stall. Oh, please don't stall. I like life. This thing to draft fire in there. Oh, please don't stop. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. I love you. I won't. Oh, come on. Oh, one of these valves does a thing. Oh, is that life? Is that life? Just don't stop. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. Just don't fucking stop, please. I hear light. I hear positive increase in pitch. Ooh, give me fuel, give me fire. Give me that which I desire, which is to go up this fucking hill. Alright. We haven't stopped yet. And we are building steam. Haha! I think we've done it. I think we've averted disaster. Oh, I've had this open the whole time? Oh. Stop! There we go. Haha! please climb, please climb, please climb. I'm sorry that my commentary has suddenly dropped off and I'm not being funny. I just want to not... Oh, I'm losing temperature again. Ooh, this would be physically exhausting if they were actually VRing this. Holy crap. I could just imagine the panic shoveling. I don't know if, like, I'm constantly increasing the amount of coal in there barely, or if I'm just burning through it so fast. Alright, we're starting to build speed again. I think we're starting to level out. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Oh. Great success. I was really, really looking forward to just screwing this up and failing within 10 minutes of starting and just having to end this episode immediately. Instead, we're just gonna crawl along at a snail's pace because coal be heavy, yo. In fact, let's take a gander at all the ass. How much does one of these things weigh? Hold on, I can read the side of it. We're 2,400 kilograms. I'm no, I don't know, fucking word for a person who would even know shit about measuring. I'm sorry, this is not very good commentary. Anyway. I'm losing steam again. Did I accidentally leave my water on? Oh, I just was running out of coal again. Because apparently I'm just consuming it right now. Holy crap. Oh, come on, not again. Come on. Back down with you. Back on with you. I hope that's the blower. I think this is the only uphill part, and then the rest of it is downhill from here. Oh, please don't stop. We're so close, fam. We're doing it, I Habib. I hear that positive. There it is. Is that? Yeah. See, it'd be really useful if I had another. So in actual railroad history time, in the real world, on steep grades like this, locomotives do not do well. Even like to the modern day, they do not do well on hills. It's because the point of contact between the wheel and the road is so small that, oh, that's a little bit of wheel spin. Oh, but that's life. Anyway, the contact area between the rail and the wheel is so small that, like, it can't really hold traction, and it just slips. So, like, they have to have extra locomotives to deal with the fact that, like, the sudden pulling something uphill makes it feel way heavier than it is. Oh, hello. Didn't mean to do that. Is it time? I don't have my brakes on, do I? No. Oh. I guess I should have just not had the throttle all the way up the whole time. Maybe I'm bad at this. Come Am I bad at this? I think I've just been bad. I'm sorry, guys. We've been sitting on a hill, just burning out, completely destroying the rails and the wheels on this thing. Going back to a previous conversation point, part of the reason that Steam was phased out is these things were hard to work on. Like, there's 1,000 tiny little bits that can all break fairly easily and require near continent maintenance. They have to be fueled like every couple of stops. Like coal, not so much. Coal, they only have to top off like every now and then. But water, like these things go through water. And the larger, later locomotives actually consume coal so fast that a man couldn't shovel it anymore. They had to develop like mechanical conveyor belts that just poured coal into the firebox. Because like, it's the average coal guy, like even in the like kind of middling days of steam power, like your fire tender was shoveling like 1.5 tons of coal per hour. And I want you to process like over an 8-hour day that this one dude has shoveled like just 15 tons of coal. Here we go. That's the stuff. Yeah. I think we've done it. I think we're in the clear, guys. And ladies, I don't wanna presume that the only people who would be half an hour into a video about a guy talking about trains while slowly climbing up a hill would be ladies, because that is shitty of me, and everyone can be into everything. Let's see, what have we got going on up here? Water's good. We've got so much fucking steam now. Hell yeah. We are going. So let's see, we have gone not very far, but that's because we've been crawling. After this, it's a bunch of straight shots, and the route is pretty flat and fast, so we'll make up good time. That's one of the awesome things about this game, is like you can kind of tell by looking at the map, the topography of it, but when you're choosing where you're gonna go, like depending on what kind of stuff you're hauling, it may actually be better to go a longer route if it means you're not dealing with lots of steep curves and all kinds of other shit. Alright, let's back off the power, because we are, speaking of curves, we are about to hit one. I can't see what direction it is. I think left. Oh, there's some lovely popping in. Oh, it's left, and we do need to slow down. Just a little bit of brake. Maybe a little bit more than that. I want to be doing like 25 through here. And we can give it the gas. Check our coal. We've made this mistake enough times, just on this run. That's part of the reason I'm so hyped about the co-op to this, is partially just being able to divvy out shit like this and have, because I am not looking where I'm going right now, and you'd be surprised how not good for you that is when you're driving 900 tons of steel and fire and explosive boiler pressure. Okay, that should be good for a while. Oh, hello. I don't like that sound. Oh, it's at 60. No, please don't, please don't, please don't. I think we saved it. Oh. I thought that was it. I thought our goose was cooked. Apparently, the speed limit through here is a little bit higher than I thought. Oh, hello. You know what? This is fine. I didn't do that. Oh, maybe this isn't fine. I need to see how fast I'm going. Yeah, we're downhill now. It's time to ride the brakes. Ooh, please brakes start doing something. There we go. Alright, junction's already pointed where we need to go, and we're going straight through it, so I don't need to slow down as much as I thought. But we do have a fairly sharp left around this blind turn. This game definitely lures you into, like, it lulls you into a false sense of security. It gives you a long, sharp straight, and then you have a little blind corner like this, and it's like, oh, you suddenly need to be doing like 30 miles. Yeah, right there. I think I think we're good speed where we're at for this. This isn't a particularly sharp turn. Someone, I will try, whenever we have this video go up, I will try and get a link to it in the description. But someone has made a speed limit map for this game that basically shows you how fast you can go through each section without derailing. Ooh, and I'm testing that right now, aren't I? Yeah, that sound back there, the screeching noise, is the sound of my cars going, but I really don't want to stay on the rails. I don't want to do that. I want to go and tip all over. I really wish I knew what that bell was. I keep hearing it. Someone, I'm sure, in the comments can tell me, which would be nice. It would mean I would not have to look it up on my own, and I can pass the buck on responsibility for my own knowledge. Yeah, so like primally sad. Oh, sometimes all the grass disappears. Sometimes it's just part of life, you know. You're rolling along, you're making sweet progress through generic 19-sometime American countryside. Tap the brakes just a little bit. Check our fire, and sometimes the ground just disappears for a few seconds and then repops in. You know, that's part of life. Oh, hello. Hey now, no need to get ahead of ourselves. Oh, no need to get ahead of ourselves. Fuck, 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 fuck. Ooh. Don't think I've lost anything. Nope. Alright. See? False sense of security. Simple premise. Go from point A to point B along a completely defined path. You have no flexibility of path besides like alternate routes sometimes. But like, you're still kept on your toes because like, part of what is coming to this game, to my knowledge, is lighter, faster loads like passengers and stuff like that. So you can, you'll have far more chance to accelerate and decelerate. Alright. Where are we at on the map? Oh, we've got a good run for a while. We can actually go pretty fast through here, so that's good. It's so fascinating to imagine what it would have been like to be one of these like engineers back in like the late 1800s when huge swaths of the territory they were rolling through was basically uninhabited. You know, besides all the people that were displaced to build the railroad there, but you know, I'm not going to talk about that anyway. So, besides those guys, nobody was there. So like, it was just, you were rolling through virgin countryside. Like, you saw places that the overwhelming majority of people just have never seen before. Like, nowadays, you just take whatever, through whatever part of the country you're going through, and you'll see big chunks of it. But, like, back in the day, like, it was the railroad and then nothing. Just for thousands, like, hundreds, if not thousands of miles. And it's just crazy to think we romanticize this notion of the pioneer spirit. But for the people at the time, this was the unknown. Like, it took, before the Transcontinental Railroad was built, starting right in the end of the Civil War and then like ending a few years afterwards, it took 6 months to get from the East Coast to the West Coast, because the only way to get there was to go all the way around South America. If I wanted to go from my place in Louisiana to my cousin's place in LA, I would have to give him like a year's heads up, because the mail would also take that long, because mail can't go anywhere faster than people. So like, just... Alright. Not sure if this is downhill or flat. But yeah. And then, like, shit tons of nitroglycerin and a bunch of Irish and Chinese lives later, we could do it in 6 days. And just, it's... Other countries' railroads have been important to their history. Like, Britain, I can think, and, well, England, I don't fucking know. The place my great-grandmother was from when she was a nurse in Oxford during the Blitz. Their railroad history is important because huge chunks of England just don't fucking become nice touristy destinations without the GWR laying their really pretty lines and building a bunch of hotels through it. And like other parts of Europe also so much, but like America as we understand it today literally does not exist without the railroad. I don't even know if America has the same borders today without like the railroad, because the Interstate Highway Act didn't come around until the 1950s. So that's like 100 years of time where it takes a gratuitous amount of time and effort and possibly, I need to be going left. Oh, but I'm going too fast to go left. Ooh, I'm glad I was stopped reminiscing about a time I never lived in to pay attention to that. Good stuff. How are we looking on? Oh, we're losing steam, and you know what that means. I haven't shoveled in a while because I've been running my mouth. Oh, did the fire completely go out? Oh shit. Good thing it takes significantly less effort to like get an engine. So there we go. Once steam is built up, it's not terrible. It's easy to keep pressure up once it's up, but like getting it there. And here's another reason we phased out steam locomotives. You want to start one up? Cool. I need 3 hours at like a minimum. And if it's cold outside, ooh, probably gonna need longer than that, because like you have to, before the thing can even move, you have to build up steam pressure in a boiler, like depending on the thing, possibly like 80 feet long. Am I going the right way? Yes. God, I need to pay attention and not just sit here. Oh man, lovely. These cliff textures are going to be great when they exist eventually. Yeah, boy. All right, we're seeing so much better time now that we're moving. We are on the roll. So where the fuck was I? Anyway, so yeah, Transcontinental Railroad gets built, and then like 6 days from Omaha, Nebraska to San Francisco, California, which to us sounds ludicrous. I've gone from, because of the existence of the airplane, I've made it from my place to LA in 4 hours. And that is significantly less time for 6 days to travel less distance than that. But like at the time, that was basically science fiction levels of speed. Because consider this. Alexander the Great and George Washington traversed the world at the same speed as each other. And they existed close to 2,000 years apart. Alexander the Great and George Washington, the best choice they had for going overland was a horse. And that was, actually, that's longer than 1,000, that's close to 2,000 years apart. Excuse me, excuse my French, my historical inaccuracies. Yeah, so that happened, and then you process that within the last, like, 100 years, we've gone from... Ooh, am I going where I need to go? Yes. Uh-oh. I don't like that sound, though. It's just, it's kind of, anyway, it's kind of mind-boggling to think about. It really puts, like, history in context and really, like, describes the significance of just this thing that we're riding along in fakely as a technology. It reshaped the world as we understand it. And I don't know. I feel like this thing gets romanticized, and it is appropriate. It is an appropriate romanticization. Now, the people who worked and actually did the railroading jobs were like hard men. You kind of had to be like. So, on the Pennsylvania Railroad, or sorry, not Pennsylvania, New York Central, or maybe it was Pennsylvania. I don't fucking know. Anyway. A brakeman, there was a point in rail yards where the only way to connect cars was they had this little hoop that dropped over like a connecting pin. I'm probably not going to describe this too greatly, but you should get an idea. Anyway, it drops over connecting pin, and the way it works is the two cars are back together, and then at the last moment you drop the hoop and the pin in. At the last second, with your hands basically still between the giant metal cars that are crashing into each other and weigh several hundred tons apiece. And like, when you were being recruited at a rail yard, the foreman would look at your hands and he's like, if you're not missing any fingers, I'm not hiring you. You've never done this job before. You're not missing at least like 3 or 4. You've only been doing this for like a year or 2. And like, that's horrifying. Like, railroad employees were disposable. Like, in the cheap, in a very, very terrible sense. Like, brakemen on top of cars. There was a point where before we invented air brakes, you want to stop a train, dudes running on top of the cars had to go car to car and turn the brakes on. So they were running on top of boxcars, jumping car to car, which is like a 6-foot gap, while the train is trundling along and jerking and stopping. And then, like, I guess fuck you if it's raining, or you live in any of the states where it snows, which is most of them. Ooh, hello. Getting a little gumptious. And, like, people just died all the time working on railroads. The mortality rate. We actually don't know how many people died building the Transcontinental Railroad, but it's like in the thousands. And just for like $35 a month. Possibly die maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, we are booking it. Being an engineer at the time wasn't any less safe, because like, alright, you can fall into the firebox, which is open, you can fall out the sides, which is probably instant death, there's a gap behind you you can step through and fall between the train, the boiler can explode. Before electronic switches and stuff were really commonplace, just you didn't know if a train was coming the other way, and sometimes you just smashed into another one and everyone died. There was like almost I'm trying to describe this accurately without being hyperbolic about it, but basically people got to the point where railroads were being protested because like you didn't know if you were going to make it where you were going. There was just as real a chance you were gonna die en route. Early trains, before they figured out that, you know, hot cinders and ashes landing on wooden cars causes them to catch fire, which causes the passengers to catch fire. Or even worse, when they were still open air cars, and it's like, yo, I heard you like having your clothes catch fire, and your hair. Riding on an early train, you literally had to be putting out the people next to you fairly constantly. I can turn the brakes off. Yeah, dude, fucking time to be alive. When you look at it, though, it's so dope. It's still cool looking. There are modern railways in America that actually have steam engines in traffic as part of, like, their heritage program. They'll run, like, actual passenger lines, and stuff like that with them. Not all year, mind you, just, like, during the summer months, but, like, just the fact that somewhere in the U.S. right now, if you wanted to, you could live like the experience that our ancestors did and try and understand the world as they did. Because like, when you travel by rail, you were traveling through the old part of a city. You are not going, alright, I think that's the through track. I hope that's the through track, because, yeah, this is the through track. I don't know. Here's something we haven't looked at yet. Here, stations are all the maps. I need farm. Yeah, I'm on it. Speaking of which, steel. Where am I going in steel mill? I haven't even. Track I-10. There we go. So we're going to be coming in from the southwest. So it's going to be first right, then first left. Dope. I'm glad we don't have to go terribly out the way. Although I haven't seen, most of these station maps, stations are laid out, I mean, how actual railway stations are laid out, so it's really logical and actually works pretty well. Been talking so much about, like, old railway history, but, like, modern railroad shit's pretty dope, too. Like, 98% of modern rail traffic in America is freight, so we don't really think about it. But, like, there are rail yards and stuff, if they were to get backed up for, like, a week, you wouldn't notice a, like, just shit running out in places. Because, the modern, like, infrastructure system is set up so everything's in those cargo containers, and it goes from boat to rail to truck. Like, stuff gets loaded onto boats, local stuff gets sent by trucks, and then everything else gets sent by rail. And then once it gets to other rail yards, it gets unloaded further into trucks and sent out. Oh, I don't like that sound. So, like, you don't really think about it. Like, I guess I do, because if you live in a small town in America that was built around a train station, which is most of them, at least like the older ones, you can. You fucking see freight trains rolling through that shit all the time. I hear outside my house no less than 3 times a day the sound of freight whistle of those big general purpose units going through with just a lot of cars. There's a little like interchange yard right near my apartment, which has like oh, hold on, where am I going real quick? I'm going left. And I am pointing left. Things are good. Probably need coal. Oh god, we have no steam. I've done the thing again, guys. I'm sorry. This is why... This is such a great game for kind of just like tuning your brain out too, because you have enough to kind of passively monitor. Oh, come on. Alright, get going, you get. Did I not drop? God damn it. Alright, you lazy bastard. At least we're not on a hill this time. Wait, I can read the things. Alright, so that was the blower. Steam dump, water dump. And that's fire out. I do not want to do that. I'm glad I did not throw that. I hope I didn't throw that earlier. Alright. But I do want the blower on. Maybe it's on? I don't know. Alright, steam pressure is building back up. Oh, I never turned my sand off. I have burned through most of it. Oh, I never turned the sand on. Well. We don't appear... Alright, let me turn the throttle up to let steam build up. Oh, we are on a hill. Fuck. Brakes on. Every time. Every time, you see, if I just had a nice general purpose diesel locomotive or an electric one with the overhead wires, I would just be like, I'm there. Ain't got no water. Ain't got no rhyme. Still though, totally. When you just need to turn your brain off at the end of the day, you're just like, I want to go to a place and look by some scenery and hear some ambient industrial sounds and feel the satisfaction of having done a job without actually having really done that much effort, which is ultimately the catharsis we're always looking for in video games, isn't it? Alright. Steam pressure, that's the money. Probably should have done this last time instead of just sitting on the hill. Brakes are off. Alright, fuck it, we're gonna punch it. That's not working. More power! Alright, we're stopping. Are we? Alright, alright. I think you need to back up and give it another run. Give it a proper, enthusiastic... Yeah, because this is a hill. Oh, this is a proper hill. Alright, alright, alright. Not gonna let me... Literally almost there. Literally around the last corner. But sure, we'll do this right now. I'm fine with it. No, it's cool. No, I'm fine. I'm not frustrated. I'm not... This is very zen. I love trains. Alright. I don't need to go back that far. I forgot there was a hill right before the steel mill, though. There's a hill right before the steel mill, and there's a hill right before the coal mine. Except that one's downhill. So you get lured into a false sense of security by all the fast, like, flatland running you've been doing. And it's like, oh, hey, I want... Alright, do I have steam? Yes, I have steam. I have some proper steam. And I could probably turn the blower off. No. Yeah, boy. You gotta so, neat thing about actual, like, train physics, when you saw how the cars got compressed together, now that they're all like that and already strung out, I can pull the first one with a little bit of slack, and then the second one will be pulled with the weight of me and the first car, and then the third one will be pulled with the inertia of the first and the other ones. So, it basically, when I was trying to stop from a dead stop on the hill, all the weight of the train was already on me, like already on the locomotive. But now, because I recompressed it, I was pulling one car at a time until we got up to speed. Significantly, there's an old Thomas the Tank Engine episode about that, I think, actually. Like, they had to, I don't remember. That was my shit as a small child. Alright, we're not doing this again. That's... I am losing steam. Not again. Not this time, you bitch. Not this time, you whore. Alright. Oh, we're here. Oh. Oh, Oh, this has been a trip. This has been a journey. I hope this is I-10. It is. Hot damn, we did it, guys. It was a long journey. Like I said, this is real world distances. We've been doing this for nigh on an hour. We started leaving the station about 50 minutes ago. Now granted, a huge chunk of that is because of my incompetence. We've come to a dead stop near twice. But you know, if I weren't terrible at this. Alright, are we all... Whoa. Come on, come on. Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? Ah, okay. Fuck. I was about to say, overshoot it. Please overshoot the junction. And we're gonna detach. There it is. We've done it. Gonna keep the fire going for just a second. Oh. The engine is now farther away because the locomotive... Am I now... Did I detach the... I didn't detach that, did I? Well, let's go turn the job in, I guess. Whoop, 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 whoop. FH06. Pay me. Give me that money. Yeah. 24 fat dollar dues. And it randomly generates new jobs for everywhere you go. So basically you're constantly going from different place to different place to different place. And then everywhere you go, there's going to be new and different stuff to do. Hello. That's new. Remote. Operate. Oh, that's for the diesel shunter. You can now... That would be good. I'm going to have that and just throw it on the back of the train and have me push up hills. Hell yeah. Well... I hope you've enjoyed this little excursion into Derail Valley. This game, still, like I said, still in pre-release, like early release. But, man, no one can ever know. No one can ever know my failure. My shame will hide with me. I'm Rob. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.